If you watch this channel, I showed it to you before. I've showed it to you recently. You've got to have this in your game. This is an 8-ball example. I'm going to give you 8-ball examples and 9-ball examples. We are playing solids. We have the 2, the 6, the 5 is here in the pocket, the 8 is down table. What do you do? Absolute beginner, he shoots the 5-ball. He just wants to get a ball off the table. Intermediate player might be looking at this and thinks he's going to use the 6-ball to get on the 8. Guess what? He's not. He's going to have to play a draw on that 6 to get on this side of the table for the 8-ball. Advanced player already sees the layout. He's going to play the 6-ball and then, a little bit of a ball foul there, he is going to play the 2-ball. Low intermediate and intermediate player. He's going to play the 2-ball and he's going to play a stop shot, relative stop shot, stun shot here. Why is he playing a stun shot? Well, he can make the 5-ball from anywhere on the table. Why risk going forward? This is why. He is not getting on that 8-ball. He might even try to come rail first. That involves an awful lot of luck for him. But the shot he does not have is this. Now, if you don't have a 9-foot draw shot in your game, how do you ensure you get from this to that? And a rail first shot is not the answer. Why is rail first not the answer? Let's take a look. If the player plays rail first, especially if he left his ball here, he's got to do something that looks like this. There are too many variables involved in a rail first shot. First off, if you're not putting running English on it, you're playing it wrong. And if you are putting running English on it, you are apt to overshoot the shot. The shot that you want to take in this scenario is to get your cue ball on the rail. Again, we've talked about this in 4 or 5 videos. If you're not doing this, you're making a major mistake. Get your cue ball as close as you can to the rail. You could be playing pool for a half an hour total in your life. I can get you from that 5 to that 8 with that shot and no, we're not going to scratch. If we did scratch, you got the same, actually a magnified possibility by going rail first. Tip number 2, don't put your cue ball in space when you need to get down table from a pocket hanger, when you need to get just about anywhere from a pocket hanger. If I was on this 5 and I needed to get on this 14 ball for some reason, maybe I'm playing straight pool, and I put my cue ball here, this requires a perfect draw shot. If I had left my cue ball here after my previous shot, because that makes sense, I can roll out, I'm still crossing the line of the shot, but the speed is that much more controllable. So, tip number 2, don't leave your cue ball in space. Tip number 1, get to the proper rail. Let's look at number 3. So what do you do if you don't have that dynamic stop shot or draw shot that is going to keep you out of that pocket, but that's your next shot? Hit the gap. This is going to cost you some position play, but if you can't stop the cue ball there or draw the cue ball back, which a lot of people can't, and it's okay, you're learning the game, right? If you can't do that, hit the gap between every object ball that is in the pocket and the edge of the pocket. There is a gap. If I put my cue ball here on the right-hand side or here on the left-hand side of that gap, guess what happens? I could not scratch if I wanted to. If you hit this area right there, you are not going to scratch. And if you do the same thing on the other side of that ball, you will not scratch. So your next tip is, if you can't stop the cue ball at distance, aim for the gap. Next pocket hanger mistake, leaving balls in the pocket when you need them. Here we have a situation where the solids, the 5, the 1, the 7 and the 2, all down table. The solids think they own this pocket because the 10 ball needs this pocket. Guys say, when I'm playing advanced players, when I'm playing guys that are better than me, I like to own the pocket. I like to block the pocket. This is what happens when you block the pocket, and if you're playing somebody that allows this to happen, they're not an advanced player. I hate to break the news to you. This is what this run looks like. You have my 10 ball blocked up. There's a couple bad things that are going to happen to you here. One, I can play The 12 ball first in the side pocket. I'm going to shoot a little draw shot here to get on the 14. Then I play the 14. I'm going to play a shot that looks like this. You see what I did there? I made an attempt to get your 5 out of the way. I made that attempt early because this is a problem for me, right? My next shot is the 11. Then I'm going to shoot the 13. Now, I'm going to pretend, just for a moment, that when I get on this 10 ball, I don't know how to shoot a 2-for-1 shot. A 2-for-1, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I play the 10 and it follows your ball in the pocket. Let's just pretend I don't have that shot in my game. So I play the 13. Now what do I do with this pocket that you own? Unless you're playing in some alien bar, under some alien rules, in some alien land, that's a legal shot. It is your shot, and this is what I left you. What is your tip? Don't think you're blocking pockets, because good players don't care, and bad players have just as much chance of beating you whether you block the pocket or not. You needed this 5 ball to get down table, to keep shooting, and it wasn't shot, and as a result, this is what you have unless you shoot a miracle shot on the 1 ball, come off a bunch of rails like 5, and get on that 7 ball and that 2 ball to run out. Don't think you're blocking pockets when you're not blocking pockets. And guess what? The guys that love to block pockets forget something. They need this ball as much as anybody. Why is it that weaker players think that they're smarter than the advanced player? They say things like, well, I don't break up clusters because it'll keep him from running out. I'll block pockets because it'll keep him from running out. What do you think, that you get a 7 and you're an idiot? You think you got to 7 and you didn't know how to deal with these situations? No, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked. And if it did work, it was an outlier. And that's all you remember, because 90% of the time it's not going to work. Why do I know? I see you guys playing. I know what happens. Let's look at the next shot. Now that I told you not to leave your hangers as blockers, let's contradict that idea. Here's my 7 ball down there. I'm not trying to block any pocket. It doesn't matter if there's a ball in front of the 7 or not. There's my 7 ball. I am using my 7 ball as an insurance shot. What does that mean? It means I'm leaving it in the pocket so that I can run this rack, and if I make any mistakes, then I can always recover with that 7 ball. So my run might look like this. I play the 2. I'm going to come off the rail to get on the 6. I play the 6 in the side. And look at what I have to deal with. I got the 1 there, the 5 there. I don't have an angle to get on the 1, so I'm going to play the 5. In the meantime, I'm looking at my position. How am I going to get on the 1? All I got to do is drop off the rail here. I come off the rail. I have a shot at the 5. If at any point, other than right this second, I got out of position, that 7 ball would bail me out. I just happened to play good position on all those shots. So I left the 7 ball on the table. So 2 things have happened. 1, I got to use that insurance shot in case I got out of position. And 2, I'm now on the 8 ball and I've got a pocket hanger to get out. Now, those of you that are paying attention, you notice I left my cue ball in space here. It's not easy to get on the 8 from here, right? Because if I had put myself on the rail here, I could have made that shot, pulled over here with the greatest of ease and been out. But what happened? I had to play a recovery shot. Well, not quite a recovery shot, but I had to play a shot that prevented me from getting my cue ball over here. So it is what it is. Just because we have strategies that we want to use doesn't mean we're going to make them happen all the time. So how do we play this hanger? There's a couple things you can do. I personally, I'm shooting a draw shot and bringing it back here. You might not have that shot in your game. So what do? You come down here, all you have to do is clear this 9 ball, so you're cutting the 7 ball in the pocket, and you're just getting enough space, which is 90% of that end of the table, where you can have a shot at this 8 ball. You come down here and you take your medicine and you play the 8 ball. And those of you that don't know what I mean by take your medicine, it means we didn't get the greatest position, but it is what it is. So we shoot it. So understand, just because we want to get to the rail doesn't mean it's going to happen every time. How common is this mistake? I saw someone who is, without question, one of the top 3 players on the planet make this mistake. Here's our situation. We're playing 8 ball. The 15 is here, the 13 is there, the 14 is our blocker, the 9 is there, the 10 ball is here, and our player has a plan. He is going to play the 13, the 15, the 10, use the 9 to play in the 14, leave the 9 ball in the pocket so that he can use it to play his cue ball off the 9 and get on the 8. So he has a run that looks like this. We got a little bit of angle on this 13. We come off the rail, we get on the 15. We get nice position on the 15, just a little stun shot out. We are on the 10. This is very easy position. We'll play this with high right to get on the 9 for our magic formula shot. We come over here, we get on the 9. Now what happens? He plays the 9 to the 14, and he plays it well. And this is what happens. He hits it super soft, so he has position on the 9 ball. His intent is to leave it in this pocket. But what happened? He got out here. Now, our hero is very fortunate because he could still make a decent shot, put himself behind his 8 ball, and try to wonder where everything went bad. That 9 could have ended up anywhere. Even when I shot it, it could have ended up anywhere. You know where it very rarely ends up? Following a ball in the pocket and sitting there waiting for you. So there's a lot of things that can happen when you play that combination. That 9 looked like that. It could have looked like this. Even worse, it looks like that. Stop using combinations to get to your pocket hangers unless you have 0 other choices. What should have been done? Either late in the game or early in the game, at some point in the game, my hanger should have disappeared because I should have played my hanger and got on the 9 ball without having to shoot some kind of ridiculous combination that's going to go south on me. So what you want to do is identify that, hey, I'm not magical. If the number 1 or 2 player on earth ended up with this position, by the way, when he shot it, what's going to happen to me? I don't want to play combinations to hangers. All of you that have been playing more than a year, you have seen it 100 times where somebody plays the combination with the intent on getting on that ball. Couple things that I could have done: gotten rid of the 14 earlier in the game and then had a clear shot on the 9. Another thing that would have been just as smart would have been to play the 9-14 combo knowing that bad things can happen and leaving other balls on the table to allow me to recover. Now, one of the problems is low-level players think of these balls as something they need to get rid of, so they try to shoot these off before they have to shoot that shot. High, intermediate, and advanced players think of these balls as connecting the dots to get to where the gold prize, the 8 ball. Next tip with pocket hangers. We talked about getting on the correct side and close to the rail so that you can get down table for some hangers. This is what I see a lot of players do. They'll shoot that. They saw the video, right? I'm going to get on the 8 ball just like Brian showed me. And then they'll shoot something that looks like this. And they want to know where their 3 rail position went. Common pocket hanger mistake: hitting the balls too full. Because you have a hanger doesn't mean you treat it like a layup. You still have to cut that ball in the pocket. Stop hitting these shots face full because they're compromising your position. You have to cut it in the pocket. If you miss it, you miss it. You'll learn how to shoot the shot later. But this is about a quarter ball hit. Is the only way you get around table on this. And I see some pretty decent intermediate players that hit those balls way too thick, and then they can't get down table and they don't understand what happened. It is still a cut shot. It is still a shot where you have to hit a percentage of the ball. Stop hitting the ball full. That's another reason why some of you are scratching on these shots, because you're hitting them dead full. And by the way, if you hit the gap like I showed you earlier and you have to get somewhere else on the table that is at the other end, the gap doesn't work. All these tricks don't work in every situation. That would make pool too easy and everybody would do it, right? So cut them in when they need to be cut, pay attention to it, and if you got to come around the table running English, you want that cue ball spinning in the direction that it's going to be coming around the table, or else you're going to cut it and it's going to stall. Next mistake I see players making with hangers, hitting them too hard. If I have that same scenario and I need to go down table and I have to play it with running English to get back down table for this 8 ball, and I slam the hell out of that ball with all that running English, am I on the 8? No, I'm in the pocket. And if I'm not in the pocket, guess what happens? You come off these 2 rails and you're back down there. I don't think that's the shot we came in for. Stop hitting the hell out of these balls. If you have running English on it, it is going to travel around the table at a higher speed than you anticipate. And if you don't know what running English or side spin is, in this case, it is right-hand spin. It is what is going to take that ball around the table easiest, the natural way you want it to spin when it goes around the table. That's running English. So what will we do here? Number one, we identify that we don't have to hit this hard to get around the table. Number two, we have to cut it thin. We can't hit the ball in the face. Number three, if we put the right speed on it, we're going to get all the way down table. That is lag speed. If you don't know what lag speed is, it means when you're lagging at the beginning of the game and you're trying to get as close as you can to this rail, that's lag speed. That's the world's worst lag in the world right there, right? The world's worst lag in the world. It's that bad. So anyway, lag speed means the speed that you would shoot that ball to go up there and come back here. And if you look at it again, it's pretty much the same speed, and that's all you need if you put the right spin on it and you cut it thin enough. That's lag speed, and it's coming off of multiple rails. So, next tip. How do I know that that ball is going to come off of there and hit here as opposed to here? Number one, I've been shooting a lot of them in my life, probably tens of thousands more than you. I'm older than you. There's a good chance I'm older than you. Number two, I've practiced these. You have to practice pocket hangers, and you have to practice them as far as position goes. A lot of the old school guys, older than me, will tell you the absolute worst enemy of the beginner player, of the intermediate player, of some of the advanced intermediate players is a pocket hanger. Put 2 balls on the table. Put your object ball on the table that you're going to shoot, and put your object ball on the table that you're going to get position on, and give yourself random position and see if you can get shape from that one ball that you put on there to the other one and what that position looks like. So what do? We're on the 5. We need to get on the 6. And from the 6, we need to get on the 7. How do we play it? We got to have at least one hanger here, right? High right-hand English. Look where I put my cue ball. As close to this rail as I can. I do the same thing here. High left-hand English, not rail first. Remember, rail first is for suckers. I'm not hitting it solid. I am hitting it with a cut shot. I get down table and I'm all over that 7 ball. practice stuff like that. There's maybe half as many side pocket issues, but let's look at one of the most common side pocket hanger issues. There's two of them, actually. One of them is leaving yourself thin on the hanger. So we are playing 9-ball. We've got the 5 I just shot. We've got the 6. They know they can make the 7 from anywhere in the world. So they leave their cue ball there. And now they have this super thin cut on the 7. And they have to somehow hold up for that 8-ball. Now, we could probably make it happen and play with good speed, but good speed is not what we need. What we need is a situation where we play that 7-ball in a much better way. So what would be a better way to play that 7-ball? When we play the 6, whether you have a draw shot or you shoot a follow shot, I don't care. We have an angle where you could play 2 rails with a follow shot, you could play with a draw shot, but I'm bringing the cue ball out here so that I can play the 7 more solidly. Now, I didn't give myself a super thin cut, and I'm gonna be directly in on that 8-ball. That's good. The other one, bad. Yeah, you could still shoot it down here. Is that the shot you want to take to win the game? So keep in mind, you got a side pocket shot. Don't put yourself in position where you're going to have to hit it thin and you're going to overrun your position at the other end of the table. It's just a silly mistake. You could play a follow shot, come out here off of 2 rails and get on that ball. You want to get solid on that. You don't want to hit it thin. Another one, and this is another item that I talked about just recently, and I've talked about it in a number of videos, is what we call America's favorite scratch shot. You're playing that hanger and you end up in that corner. Come on now. I've talked about this in maybe 20 different videos and people still do it. I've had players scratch on that shot. I explained to them how they keep from scratching on it. I told them I call it America's favorite scratch shot. I got people overseas calling it America's favorite scratch shot. And you know what they do? 10 minutes later, scratch on the same shot. Come on, do you really love that shot that much? Thanks for watching. If you're new to this channel, we appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know about your experiences with pocket hangers, what you thought of the video, or situations that you've seen, maybe league night, where people totally misplayed hangers and maybe cost them a game, cost a match, maybe even a trip to Vegas. I've seen that happen on a pocket hanger.